myself Maitri Dave, Assistant Professor at LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. This is the second lecture of Introduction to Civil Engineering. In today's lecture, we will learn roles of civil engineering. Then after, the second topic, which is scope of civil engineering. And lastly, we will discuss the impact of infrastructure development of country. So without wasting much time, let's start. For any type of projects related to the basic field of civil engineering, a civil engineer has to perform various duties. First, civil engineer has to carry out surveying and leveling for preparing maps. Second task is to carry out a soil investigation for the design of foundation of structure. Next is to carry out planning of the building based on fundamental principles of planning and other construction regulations. Next is to analyze and design of the structure based on principles of loads acting on the building. Next is to carry out quantity survey and to prepare estimate to know probable cost. Next is to invite tenders and select contracts. Then after, civil engineer has to supervise work during execution and to ensure the progress of work. Next is to implement management techniques for better management of man, material, machine and money. Next is to carry out valuation of land for purposes of finding its sell and purchase price. And the last is to demolish any structure is also a role of civil engineer. Now we will move to our second topic for today's lecture, which is scope of civil engineering. It is divided into two parts. First is according to the field of work, area of services and type of structure. And the second is according to the function of civil engineering. First, according to the field of work, area of services and type of structure, here you can see the building construction, construction of heavy structures, geotechnical engineering, transportation engineering, water resources engineering, environmental engineering and town planning. It means these all are branches of civil engineering which we have already discussed in the previous lecture. Second is according to the function of civil engineering, which is basically done on table or in office. So that first is survey. It is used for setting out the works and preparing the map of land. Measurements of distances and angle are taken with surveying instruments like chain, tape, theodolite, compass, total station, GPS, etc. Second is planning of a residential building. For that, planning of different units according to their functions should be done. Say for example, buildings are constructed to create living space and roads are constructed for transportation of vehicles over them. So according to that, we have to plan this structure. Next is structure analysis and design. It is carried out by first preparing model of structure in software by selecting the type of material like concrete or steel, then applying the probable loads on particular model of structure to check whether it is capable to resist or transfer the load properly without damage or not. By that, we will fix its size and shape of components like slab, beam, column, etc. This is known as structure analysis. And after that analysis, designing of the structural components can be done according to that designing principles. Next is professional practices, which includes estimating, costing, construction and contracts. So estimating is all about data of drawing specification and rates, while costing is to know actual expenditure in the payment of bills to the contractor and many other expenditures. After estimation and costing, we can start construction by inviting tenders and selecting contractors. For that, we have to prepare contract documents which is then signed by contractor and the builder. Now next is construction management, which includes planning and scheduling, construction execution and supervision. Planning and scheduling is the procedure for fixing order of execution of different activities during construction. For that method, like bar chart and critical path methods, we are going to use. And before construction, it is required to carry out the actual expenditure of the construction, and while construction, it is required to supervise the progress of the work as per the plan, design and specification. Now, next question is quality control and research, which is carried out before and during construction. Before construction, we have to find the best possible materials or method which is cost effective in overall project. And while construction, we have to assure the qualities and properties of materials or construction execution as per standard or not. And the last is maintenance of structure, which is again carried out after completion of construction. So structure needs maintenance and proper care. Repair works are required to protect the structure to make them free from the effect of damage. Some maintenance works are carried out annually like whitewashing and painting. Now we will move to our last topic of today's lecture, which is all about impact of infrastructure development on the economy of a country. So what is infrastructure? It is the basic physical and organizational structures and facilities that needed for the operation of a society or a country. It covers facilities like water resources project, power generation, transmission and distribution, telecommunication, facilities and banking, science and technology and transportation. It is the backbone of nation's progress. It is the main engine of economic progress. For economic and industrial development of nation and infrastructure development, it is a basic and a prime need. We develop infrastructural facilities that attracts foreign investments and industries, which is the key to development to any nation. There are two types or two ways to measure infrastructure development. First is per capita income. It is the average income of normal residents of country in a particular year. So I can say per capita income is equal to total income of country upon the population of country. Second is the GDP. It means gross domestic product. So it is the value of all fixed goods and services at price prevailing in the market produced in the domestic territory of a country during a given year. Due to acceleration of progress of infrastructure projects, overall development and upliftment of common people can be done. Thus, the infrastructure development is the key to economic development of any country. So that's all for this lecture.